The PMBOK recommends a process-based approach to managing projects, and for risk management, we have 7 processes that we utilize in managing risk on the project. We'll just quickly go through them and give brief explanations on each of them. So the first is plan risk management, and what you're doing here is to define the approach that you're going to take in managing risk on the project, and this includes defining how you're going to identify risk on the project, how you're going to do your analysis, how you're going to plan responses, how you're going to create your register, what kind of format you're going to use, and so on and so forth. And your key output of that particular process will be the risk management plan, which is a documentation of this approach. Once you're done with that, you want to identify risks. In identification of risks, you're looking at all of the possible uncertainties that can occur on your project, and typically you would document them in your risk register. Your risk register can take different formats, but the key thing is you identify the risks. You may go on and put in the causes, the effect, and so on and so forth. But that's what you have in identification of risks. And then you perform qualitative risk analysis as well as quantitative risk analysis. Here you're trying to determine how the probability, you're juxtaposing the probability and the impact of the risks that you have identified in order to be able to determine the significance of the risks that you have identified. And that would inform whether you're going to go on to plan responses to those risks or not. Because what you would have is you could have some risks that are too low or too inconsequential for you to be bothered about on the project. So that's what you want to do when you're doing your analysis, and then you go on to risk responses, where you determine what kind of responses you're going to take to tackle risks that have been identified. It could be to avoid, it could be to transfer, to mitigate, it could be to share, to enhance, it could be to also exploit. It depends on what your team decides on to go to on how to handle the risks. And then you implement risk responses while executing, as well as monitor risks. These essentially are the things what you do as far as risk management processes are concerned on the project.